Alright, so this is a quick follow-up from my last video. Just kind of going over some other things that I've noticed. Getting near the level cap in the beta server, which is only 100. So, one thing that is made very apparent, and something that is going to be problematic, is the questing in the game. What I will say is just be prepared in the official launch for people to be quite toxic when it comes to questing, because there's a lot of people that, there's a lot of quests that require you to kill, like, a mob that spawns, like, 1 or 2 at a time, and you need, like, 5 to 6 drops from that mob, which doesn't drop all the time. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared for a lot of PKing, and obviously when you get to Forgotten Ruin and higher, it is a faction war zone. So just be prepared again for a lot of PKing going on and a lot of toxic behavior. The second thing I wanted to mention is I mentioned racism very briefly in the beginning of the last video, and I didn't touch upon it. There's a lot of controversy going on right now with the Filipino players coming over to this version of the game when I believe they already have their own version. Now, CABAL is by far the most popular, is most popular in Philippines and Brazil. So the vast majority of players who seem to be on this server right now are from Philippines. And a lot of them are being very openly racist, and Western players are also being racist because, they're in an English server and they're not seeing English, so it's causing a lot of controversy. I don't know what the GMs are going to do about it. Personally, I don't care as long as they're able to somewhat communicate with other players and people aren't being openly racist, then I don't care who's playing the game. But there's definitely going to be a lot of toxic behavior when the game comes out, depending on how much traction it gets. And it could potentially lead to the death of the server. But we'll see how it goes. I think it is going to be problematic, though. If the devs want to avoid a catastrophe, they need to try to implement some sort of auto-translate system that a lot of Chinese games have. But I don't think they're going to be able to have time to do that. Yeah. Next thing, so I touched on premium a bit last time, and it was brought to my attention that you can also pay extra gems to get an additional buff on your premium. So not only do you have, what the heck? Where is it? Here we go. Not only do you have these things for buffs, but you also have this other premium buff thing you can get. Right? The stats aren't as significant, but they're still there. Right? It's still additional stats you can get. So, more things that are a little sketchy right now. So, just something to be aware of. The last thing is the auction house. Now, I was a little worried at first because I saw a post on the Discord that showed someone selling items for gems on the auction house, and I thought, no way, they did not just make the auction house only for premium currency. Thankfully, no. So it looks like that items will sell for both alls or for force gems. So I don't really know if this is still going to happen when the game officially launches. Because when you have the option to buy items with a premium currency and the free currency, no one's going to buy it for the premium currency. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm a little worried that what they might do is after a certain point, you might only be able to buy and sell items using gems. But who really knows right now? But it's just something to kind of keep in mind. I don't really know how it's going to go, but it's just something to be aware of, especially when you look at the higher end stuff when the game comes out, okay? So if we go to register items here and I try to sell this thing. Oh, wait, no. I try to sell, let's see, just something. This osmium plate, right? You can choose to sell it for alls or force gems. So, I don't really know how this is going to work yet. I guess we're going to find out when the game comes out, but it's a little concerning. It's just because the option is there makes me think that eventually they might get rid of the alls option, or they're going to put some sort of restriction on it so that you have to buy premium in order to buy items with alls on the auction house. I don't know. I really don't know, but it's just something to keep in mind. Again, trying to think of what else. I think there was potentially one other thing. Oh, the other thing that I noticed too is the dungeon quests. So, you know, the quests that have to go through Runa Station or Tower of the Dead B1F, stuff like that. They now have their own, like, separate quest dungeons where it just teleports you to the boss and then you just fight the boss. That specific boss in, like, that quest dungeon. Instead of having to go through the entire, like, real dungeon or whatever, which is interesting and also kind of weird. Additionally, also the Altar of Eternity quest just teleports you directly to the end of the dungeon, so you don't have to actually do it, which also kind of bothers me, but it's just something else I noticed. Anyway, I just wanted to make an update to the previous video from just additional observations from playing through the beta. Just trying to get to the level cap so I can get the blessing beads when the game comes out, but that's pretty much all I'm going to really do for this beta. And then maybe do some PvP, fucking around with some people. That's pretty much it. See ya.